Hey everyone! Welcome to day 7 of the Opinion Fast with 30 Days with Leslie. You made it. One full week into this journey of rebuilding confidence, breaking the habit of over reliance on others' opinions, and strengthening your inner voice. Today's reflection is a little different. It's longer, deeper, and meant to give you some space to breathe and integrate everything that's been unfolding over the last 6 days. Think of this like a weekly check in with yourself, less of a sprint and more of a slow, steady walk back through your progress. So before we get into anything heavy, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in, hold it. Now slowly exhale. If you're holding tension in your body, let it drop. Drop your shoulders, drop your jaw. This is your time. Let's talk. Over the past week, we've explored a lot of themes, from trusting your instincts to recognizing when you're seeking validation instead of collaboration, from leading without needing to control to acting without waiting for permission. These are powerful shifts, even if they feel subtle right now. You've probably noticed that some days were easier than others. Some prompts may have clicked instantly, others may have brought up resistance or discomfort. That's normal, that's growth. You're undoing patterns that may have been with you for years. Patterns that say, play small, ask first, don't rock the boat. But confidence isn't loud. It's not always about big, bold declarations. Sometimes it's a quiet knowing, a moment where you say to yourself, I've got this, and then move forward without needing to look sideways or for confirmation. Let's break this down a little bit. We'll do this in a few parts. Part 1, self-assurance. Self-assurance doesn't mean you always know the answer. It means that you trust that you can figure it out. That when things go sideways or don't go as planned at all, you'll adapt, you'll learn, you will grow. So here's a question for you to consider. When this week did I trust myself, even a little, more than I normally would have? Maybe it was making a decision at work without texting 3 friends first. Maybe it was holding your opinion in a conversation without automatically softening it. Maybe it was standing up for yourself directly or silently when it would have been easier to just let it slide. You may not even realize how much you're shifting, but trust me, every single one of those moments adds up. Self-assurance grows in the doing. Even small steps count, especially the small steps. Part 2, coalition building. Now let's talk about coalition building, the other half of this journey, the people you collaborate with, the feedback you seek, the input you accept. This fast isn't about becoming isolated or rejecting others. It's about being intentional with who gets to speak into your life and why. Think about this. Did I seek input this week from a place of power or from a place of uncertainty? There's nothing wrong with asking for help, but there's a big difference between asking, what do you think I should do because you don't trust yourself, and asking, here's what I'm leaning toward. Do you see any blind spots? That's strength. This week, you've been practicing that discernment. You've started to notice whether the input you're getting is actually adding value or just noise. You started building a coalition, not a crowd. That's the work. That's the shift. Part 3, balancing both. So how do you balance both? Self-assurance and coalition building. Inner authority and external collaboration. Confidence and humility. It starts with clarity of intent. Before seeking someone's input, pause and ask yourself, why am I reaching out? What am I hoping they'll give me that I don't already have? Sometimes it's a second opinion to sharpen your thinking. Other times, it's comfort. Other times, still, it's permission. But here's the thing, you don't need permission to trust yourself. You don't need someone else's approval to take action that aligns with your values and vision. You can collaborate without compromising. This week has been about remembering that. For part 4, we're going to do a guided reflection and journaling. Let's slow it down even more. If you are in a quiet place, take this time to journal or just sit with these questions. I'll give you space between each one. You can pause the video as needed or let it flow in the background. Question 1. What moment from this past week made you feel most confident in yourself? Question 2. When did I notice myself wanting external validation the most? What triggered that? Question 3. Who in my life truly supports my growth? And who do I listen to out of habit or fear? Question 4. If I could go back and redo one moment this week with more self assurance, what would it be and how would I show up differently? Question 5. What's one commitment I want to make myself going into week 2? Nice work, truly. These are not easy questions, but they're real, they're honest, and that's the energy we're carrying forward. So here are my final thoughts. If this week felt heavy, let me remind you, growth isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's invisible, internal, quiet, but it's happening. If this week has felt powerful, celebrate that. You're already living with more intention. You're already shifting focus. And if this week felt inconsistent, that's okay too. Confident isn't always about getting it right, it's about staying in the process, coming back, and trying again tomorrow. You're doing that. So, as we close out this first week, here's one final prompt to reflect on before tomorrow. What version of myself do I want to meet on day 30? And how can I keep showing up for them one day at a time? Okay, that's it. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. I'll see you tomorrow for day 8. Week 2, here we come.